Guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the QCAA external exam for 2022 paper 1 multiple choice question 4. Now you would have noticed in all the videos I'm splitting up all the questions into their own individual videos. This is pretty much to give you guys more access to some stuff, because let's say you only struggle with a couple questions and you don't want to sit through the entire exam video. You can just go to that video on the channel or in the playlist. Now don't worry, the full external exam solutions are up on the YouTube channel still. The link is in the description below. If you're interested in a Math Methods exam bundle pack, the link is also in the description below. So go check that out if you want that as an extra resource. It'd be very helpful, especially if you've run out of external exam papers to practice or are starting to run out of. But yeah, let's get straight into question 4. Okay, so with question 4, if you don't know it's a normal distribution question by a general look at it, then you probably need to study it a bit more. But let's get into it anyway. So the weekly amount of money a company spends on repairs is normally distributed with a mean of $1,200 and a standard deviation of $100. Okay, so here we know the normal distribution looks roughly like this. We have that in here. So is your average, and your standard deviation is $100. Now we're told this, given that the z value is less than or equal to negative 2.5, then the probability is 0.0062, and the probability that z is greater than 1 is 0.1587, where z is the standard normal variable. Okay, it's a z score pretty much, okay? Determine the probability that the weekly repair cost will be between $950 and $1,300, okay? So here we've got to understand where these guys sit. Now they've given this information for a reason, okay? Now, every normal distribution can be modeled onto the standard normal. The standard normal has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. And they will have z-scores instead. So when you're 1 standard deviation in front, that would be a z-score of 1. When you're 1 standard deviation behind, it'd be a z-score of negative 1, okay? The other things you have to know is if you're 1 standard deviation on either side of the mean, that is 68% of the data. So this here would be 68% of the data. If you're 2 standard deviations, that's 95% of the data. And if you're 3 standard deviations, if you ever need it, that's 99% of the data. You should know this for each of them, okay? This is when a z-score is also equal to 1. This is when a z-score is equal, or 1 and negative 1, because it's either side. This one's 2 and negative 2. And this one is 3 if you ever need it, okay? So they've given this information because we're probably going to be using information from the standard normal to model onto this. Because remember, every normal distribution can be mapped onto the standard normal to work out and compare data sets, okay? Now, if you don't know how to calculate them, you'll need this formula here. Your z-score is your data point minus your average of your normal distribution divided by your standard deviation, okay? So here, when they said the z value is less than negative 2.5. That makes sense because negative 2.5 is about there. They're saying that area there is 0.0062, which makes sense because it's very small. And then here when they're saying z is greater than 1, that is this section here, which would be 0.1587. Perfect. So the remaining area here, this plus the other shaded regions I've just said would add up to 1 then, okay? Now here, let's work out where 950 and 1300 are. Now, if you go 1 standard deviation in front of the mean, which is $1,200, you add $100, which takes you to 1300. So, because you're 1 standard deviation in front, I know at 1300 the z-score is equal to 1. If you're not sure as well, you can calculate it using this stuff here. So z equals 1300 minus 1200 over 100, which would give you 100 over 100, which would give you 1. So that's another way to check as well. So this area here, because it's a z-score of 1, must be 0.1587. That's awesome. We know that information there. Now, 950. So here, if you go 1 standard deviation behind, that's going to give you $1,100. If you go another standard deviations, that's going to give you $1,000. Then if you go half a standard deviation, that's going to give you 950. So if you go 2.5 standard deviations to the back, that gives you 950, which actually matches with our guy here. So at 950, the z-score must be negative 2.5, which matches this information here. So we know that the area under 950 has to be that guy there. Now, the question was, determine the probability the repair cost will be between $950 and $1,300. That is finding the area here. Now, we already know that the area under a normal distribution has to add up to 1, which means the area between, the probability that your repairs are between 950, aka this here, and $1,300, is going to be 1 subtract 0.1587 and subtract this guy here, 0.062. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this stuff here now because I'm going to run out of room to do my math. If you need that information, rewind the video. Now hopefully you can see where I've gotten that stuff from. So here, let's work this stuff out straight away. Now, when we're doing this calculation here, we can actually break it down into a better option. It's not going to be A or B, because that will not equal to 0.65. It's probably going to be C or D, okay? So here what we do is work out what this stuff will be. So here, 1.000, and how many decimal places? They got 4, minus 0.1587. Or what we could do is reverse engineer and add it together, but I think this might be a bit better to do. So in this situation here, if we're subtracting 0 from there, you're going to have nothing there. If I'm subtracting 1 from 10, I will turn that into a 10 and turn that to 0. 1 from 10 is going to be 9. And then 5 from that bit there. Actually, there's going to be a better way to do this stuff here. If we add these guys together, 0.1587 plus 0.062. Now just double checking I've got the right decimals, and I don't. There's an extra 0 in there. 0, and then there'll be extra 0 up here as well. So rather than wasting our time doing that, what we might do is add these two together. So this will give us that, and that. That'll give you 9. Then if you add that together, that's going to give you 4. Then you'll have to carry the 1. So you'll get a 6 there. Then you'll get a 1 there. And then you'll get this. So if you go 0.1649 and you add it to one of these answers, it has to give you 1 exactly. Now, from my knowledge, the thing I'm looking at is the 3 and the 4. Now, I know 3 plus 6 is going to give you 9. And I know 3 plus 6 would give you 10. A lot of people would go and pick D here. However, you've got to account for the extra decimals here. So my answer is most likely going to be C as a genuine guess. But what I would do is I would check C first to double check that as well, obviously. So if I add these together, if it gives us 1, we've got the correct answer here. So this plus 0.1649. 1 plus 9 is 10. So 0, carry the 1. 6 plus 4 is 10, 0, carry the 1. 4 plus 6 is 10, 0, carry the 1. And 9 plus 1 is 10, carry the 1. Perfect, you get 1 exactly. So your correct answer here is C. Okay. Now, if you struggle with this question, you need to understand normal distributions a little bit better. Okay. Now, if you need a new exam style bundle pack, check the link in the description below and get your download today. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. And if you have any questions about this one here, leave something in the comments and I'll try my best to answer it.